Greetings, YouTube. Happy Wednesday. I'm going to do something a little different with this review video than I have before. You see, on paper, given the value of what Kabam charges for the items in the $30 Alliance Questing Booster Pack, it's a really solid deal. If you break it down and you look at how much each one of these items costs per units, normally in the unit store, you know, it's obvious that this is the kind of deal you want to snatch up before Alliance War Season 10 rolls around, and certainly every season after that. But here's the deal. I am sick and tired of reviewing a deal and giving it positive reviews when the health pool of champions, particularly 6-star champions, continues to go up, but the amount of health that you get with these potions remains fixed. This deal was a much better deal when you were using 4-star and even in some cases 5-star champions for Alliance Quest and Alliance War Attack. But we now know, as Cavalier Crystals are the norm for quote-unquote in-game players, that 6 stars are required in paths of Act 6, Chapter 2. 6 stars are going to become the quote-unquote new 5 stars in terms of the expectations for what you bring in for both attack and certainly health before you enter a match. And we also know that Alliance War and Alliance Quest, for that matter, are both about to get a lot tougher because Kabam isn't making enough money off of the community at this point. So kind of like Dungeons, let's justify that it's going to be more challenging and maybe there'll be a little bit more rewards. But the changes, like they did with Dungeons, to make the refresh timers ridiculously long without you having to spend actual units to get your champions out of refresh jail faster, it just doesn't actually make any sense for the player. It's the opposite of a pro player move. It's a pro Kabam, fill my pocketbooks, Scrooge McDuck-like move. So I look at this deal and I say, I would be so for promoting this as an A or A plus deal if it was similar to how the regular health and revives are for non-Alliance War and Alliance Quest attack. So, keep in mind, if you have somehow been Patrick Star-like sleeping under a rock for the last 6 months to, a few years, when you look at the potions, and let's say we talk about this level 2 health potion, right? Well, 750 health, right? But then you scroll all the way down. Let's talk about the revives. 40% of health. That's amazing because it actually incentivizes you to not only progress faster in the game, but to use 5 and certainly 6-star champions because they have larger health pools. So you actually get more health back as an incentive by using a higher starred champion in your attack because their health is something like 30,000, whereas if you were using a 4-star, it would be like, 6 or 7,000? So 40% of 30,000 is a lot more than 40% of 7,000. However, when we scroll down, get away from these abomination dungeon items, let's go to the level 3 Alliance Team Revive. 4,200 health. 4,200 health. Now let's go and let's look at the 6 stars. Let's look at Domino Corvus. Now I have a 30% boost going on because it was running out and I wanted to clear a little bit of Act 6 and also do some arena. But let's just look at this Domino right now. This Domino has 41,000 health. So 40% of that, you just move the decimal place over, it's about 4,000 times 4. That's 16,000 health that I get back on this Domino for that level 2. 16,000 versus 4,000. So literally the difference is you have to buy and spend 4 of those level 2 Alliance to equal one of the level 2 of the regular non-Alliance questing. On top of that, another reason why I'm just kind of passionately fueled by this is that because when you go to your inventory, you can see that there still is only a max of 10 of these for both potions and team potions and team revives. 10. And we just established that it takes almost half of that just to get my 6-star with certain potions to, what, 3/4 health? Certainly the best deal when it comes to glory, and I say this all the time, but if you have missed that on previous videos, if you go to the glory store, and this resets every day, the best deal you can do is the level 4 Alliance health potion, which is 6,000 health. But I just established that normally my Domino has over 30,000 health at rank 2 as a 6-star. So that still takes 5 of these things to get her back to full health. 5. And so if you get wrecked in a fight, which unless you're this elitist person who, claims in the comment section that they never get hit, they never lose a fight, and if you're good at this game and you're not a whiner, then, you're not going to get hit either. If you actually are human and you take damage in Alliance War, particularly with these new nodes where you're going to take damage even if you fight perfectly because Kabam has to make money off of you no matter what, you're going to be having to stock up on these. And you're going to have to use glory and units and maybe even cash depending on your income level to continue to do that. For rewards that, unless they drastically change, and they're not even going to change until, Season 11, they're just going to be a waste compared to the amount of units that you spend, particularly because we have seen a growing number of regular unit-based and store-based rewards that you can buy for Tier 5 Basic Catalyst and Tier 2 Alphas, etc. The items that used to be exclusive to the Alliance War Seasons Crystal rewards. So, needless to say, even though on paper this is an A value, until they actually make these things updated to reflect what you need to refresh the health and say even the reviving nature of 5 and certainly 6 stars, I'm not going to get this thing higher than a D+. And again, that's going to shock people, and they're going to say I'm being too critical. I'm going to be too negative on Kabam, but it simply takes too many of these health potions to get your 6-star and even your 5-star, 565, to where they need to be to go into a fight in Alliance War. And even now, maybe at Alliance Quest, certainly if the maps can get even harder with Map 6 and Map 7. So don't be fooled anymore by the on-paper A+ value of this, because even though it is true that it's going to save you units versus what you're going to have to pay out of pocket if you run out of these things, they still are a joke. And so my conclusion continues to be, if you have to be in a position, in Alliance War especially, where you're constantly buying health potions or team health potions or team revives in order to not let your alliance down, I don't think it's worth it. I think there are more cons than pros, and it's better to move to a different alliance that isn't so Alliance War focused, or even down a tier or two where the fights are just easier. And I realize that some people cringe when I say that, because Alliance War is why they play this game. They love the competition. They have to be the best, and they have to beat the best of the best, and that's awesome. I can't identify with that mentality because this is supposed to be a relaxing break from my normal, very stressful teaching schedule. But for those of you who do that, don't listen to this advice. Obviously, that doesn't apply to you. But for the average player that hates Alliance War like me, or thinks it's way too stressful and it's toxic for the overall environment of an alliance, especially if you've been friends with these people for years, it's just going to get worse. And these potions and these sales aren't going to make it that much better, if any better. So that ends my rant. I'm going to give this thing a D+ until they make these potions and revives have more value, especially for 5 and 6-star champions. Comment below, let me know if you agree or disagree. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting my Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube channel.